Hey everybody, today I'm going to do some live coding and I'm basically going to be kind of doing copy paste coding, modifying things. I'm trying to emulate this Zulip component in the top left corner, which I call the convenience panel. And so far I have three components of that convenience panel done. And what I want to add is a component for showing starred messages. And you'll notice that it has an icon, the label, the unread counter, and then it's got this little pop-up message that will allow me to unstar all messages or hide star message count. And I'm not implementing the pop-up menus yet, but I am implementing a way to test that the component can receive a function like a handler to pop up the menu, and that when I click on it, it does the right thing. Incidentally, I'm in Zulip now, and the main Zulip instance, chat.zulip.org, has this cool feature that you could subscribe to a stream called Hacker News. And then anytime Zulip is mentioned on Hacker News, you see it on the stream. And of course, you can click through to Hacker News itself. And these people are having a debate on whether to use Discord or Zulip. So it's interesting to see those debates happen. I, of course, would recommend most people to use Zulip, especially if you're not like in Discord's real wheelhouse, which apparently is gaming. I've used the Discord product before. I like the product, but I think it's much better to use a free product. And Zulip has some very important features for like more intellectual discussions, not to sound snobby, but more, I would say, more work oriented workflow than Discord has. So like if you're working on a free software project, the Rust community is a great example of a community that uses Zulip very effectively. They have a Zulip instance. But let me get down to work here. Let's see. I'm going to clear things. I'm going to go into my lib directory. And I'm going to copy the all messages component to the starred messages component. And I'm going to add that to my repo. And then I'm going to go to the editor. Excuse me. And I need to edit the index.html. I'm in my lib directory now, which is where all my TypeScript code lives. But some of the other stuff, all the stuff that I actually use to test the component, is in the directory below. I'm going to include my new starred. I guess I have to type this out. Starred messages component. I need to go into the convenience panel and code here is getting a little bit ugly, but I'm not super concerned yet. Starred messages. Starred messages menu. I'm a little tired this morning. I stayed up late and watched the Lakers defeat the Los Angeles Lakers defeat the Golden State Warriors. I'm a big fan of LeBron James, and he was absolutely masterful last night. controlling the game and eliminating the Warriors. I like Steph Curry, but I like LeBron better. Sorry. I just think LeBron's one of the greatest of all time, up there with Jordan. Let's see. So let me. I think I need to do some edits and start components. This is my new file. This is going to be starred. Let me just look for all. Well, this. Starred message widget. Starred message widget. I don't have like the greatest level of abstraction here, but this is like such easy code that I don't want to over engineer it. This whole component's 77 lines. Let's see. I need to look for all the places I say all. This will be launch starred messages. Starred messages menu. Starred. I should probably just use more generic names inside these guys, like widget or something. But you can tell how easy it is to just. And there's an argument for having a more descriptive name. Although this is quickly getting tedious. Because this code is so small, like it's pretty much all in my head. I mean, I wouldn't be able to like rewrite it line from line without looking at it, but like I kind of know the general structure, which is good. So I think there's a few more steps here. I think the compiler should. Let me just compile it. I'm sure I made a typo. Oh, wrong directory. So I'm running TypeScript with my project configuration that's in my tsconfig.json. If that succeeds, it'll start the web server. Clearly, I have some kind of error. I know I didn't change everything that possibly needs to change, but hopefully the compiler will lead me to my changes. So line 53 cannot find starred messages component. I am in the TypeScript. I've made the mistake of starting to edit the JavaScript file before. You don't want to edit the code-generated code because it'll be very frustrating when it gets overwritten by the compiler. Cannot find main name starred messages component. Line 53. Let's see. I'm in the wrong file. So starred messages component. Did I forget to edit some things? Oh, I know what I did. Or what I forgot to do. Let me find all the places it says all again. Oh, I was in the other file. Never mind. So this should be starred messages component. Likewise here. Not find name launch starred messages. Yeah, that's because I haven't added it to my handlers. I think. So line 55. So where do I get launch all messages? Yeah, so I have this notion called services. So hard messages, hard messages menu. And I call it services here and handlers somewhere. I'm gonna have to clean up that naming at some point, but it's not urgent at all. So that's the menu. Whoops. I'm just gonna. I'll spell it out. Start messages view. See how I did? Does not exist on type handlers. Huh. Oh. Duh. Need to return those. When you get up to this many things that you're returning from an interface, I just sort them instead of trying to group them in any logical order. So there we go. And again, I'll do a naming sweep on this code later on. Yeah, the game didn't end till I didn't finish watching the game. My buddy had it on tape. We didn't finish watching until like midnight, and then it was all wired up afterwards. Launch start messages still does not exist on type handlers. Maybe I do say what the incoming type is. Indeed, I do. Okay. Um, all right. Yay for TypeScript. Even though my caller is pure JavaScript, I am enforcing the types here. Start message menu. Again, I'm just going to sort these guys. At this point. Yeah. I mean, all this copy pasting is indicating that I might need like a more general notion of what like a line item in the convenience panel is. But the each thing is like just slightly different in its behavior. Like some things don't have unread counts. Let's see. Launch start messages is not assignable to type of build args. I think I just mistyped it. Start messages menu. Line 60. Yeah, I think I know what's going on there. Launch starred messages menu, translate. Starred messages menu. I just get that from the services. Go back to my handlers. Not missing any commas or anything weird like that. Let me make sure I saved everything. Let me see all the places I have build arcs. I'm gonna call this panel build arcs. Sometimes it's helpful to look at the other errors. If you're stumped by the first one, look at the other error because it could be a weird side effect. So I'm going to look at start messages component line 46. Oh, darn it. I need to change that. Oh, shit. Let me double check what Zulip calls that. Zulip. Oh, so it's hash narrow slash is slash starred. Icon. FA star. Good name. And where was I? I was on line 40. I'm looking for all the places I say all, no pun intended. That should be starred messages. I'm just going to tab complete this. Good. All right. Let's see if that's what was screwing me up. I don't think that's going to fully resolve things, but it might add a little clarity. Okay, same error. Non-assignable to parameter of type. I'm like reasonably certain that these type defs are scoped to the modules. All right, I gotta pause. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna rename this build args to starred build args. I don't have to pipe things to Vim anymore because I don't have like an explosion of syntax errors. It is helpful to get. Let's see. Object saying starred messages menu does not exist in type starred build args. Oh, yeah. That would explain it. All right, let me run my web server. I don't expect things to completely work here. Because they're still sharing code for unread counts, I believe. Okay, so they both start off with this empty unread count. If I click on starred messages, get that. If I click on the pop-up menu, starred messages menu is not a function. Boy, that's sloppy. Git grep message menu. Let's go to handlers, which I think I have a, yeah. I'm usually obsessive about tab complete, but once you tab complete something the wrong way, and it's still early in the morning. All right, rerun TypeScript in the web server. All right, I can click here, and I can click here, and it's saying pop up, so that's right. I'm not translating to French yet. Let's see what French translation of starred messages. Really, for illustrative purposes, I don't need to have the exact correct translation. But let me go to my personal settings. Display settings, I believe, is the one I want. Let's go to Francais. And I do need to reload for that to take effect. Meanwhile, I can start doing some typing here. Here's my translation service. It's very, very highly engineered. Being facetious, of course. Starred messages is the English version. And message favori. That makes sense. No accents. Recompile that, fire up the web server. No. I eventually need to get away from running Python's web server and set TypeScript up so it's got like a watch feature and then launches a web server that's more. I've heard like Snowpack might maybe a good thing. All right, translate to French. Up. Lowercase m versus large m. Yeah, there are 5 teams left in the NBA, and I like all 5 teams, which is cool. They're in the playoffs, obviously. Let's see. Reload. Translate to French. Why is that still broken? Oh, I think I know why. Oops, I had it open in the other thing. The translations happen when you call repopulate text. Now, if I were smart, I would immediately um, try to write this component too. Brillant is drafts, I guess, in French. Just while I have like all these common mistakes in my head. Um, but okay, I'm translating. It's still wired up to a dumb console log, that header. And the problem now is if I set unreads, it's only setting unreads for all messages. But I'm gonna leave that for another time. I'm obviously not in like the speediest mode yet this morning developing. But anyway, if you've taken the time with me up until now, I thank you for listening. Bye.